Alright, so if we run our program right now, this pops up, a window should pop up, and there's our panel with a black circle and a white background. Great. During this tutorial, we're going to make it so that the panel can hear the mouse's clicks, and so that the white or the black oval will move around based on where we click. Panels by nature, JPanels, are not able to listen to you. It's not like the mouse's functionality is just built in necessarily to that window. Sometimes you want to have a window that doesn't need to listen to anything. So we say listen because it's like we need something on the panel to pay attention to the mouse. And that is called a listener. And there are lots of different kinds of listeners, and we'll add a couple different varieties in this program. The first listener that we're going to use is called a mouse listener. It's built into Java. It's not magic. It's a program that's able to sit on the panel and listen for mouse clicks and tell you about them. So another thing we haven't talked about yet is that you can create private classes inside other classes. So this is a class called PaintPanel, and it extends JPanel, so it's a specific type of JPanel. Right now it's able to just draw this on itself. It's able to draw a white background and a black circle. We're going to add a class inside this JPanel, a private class called Listener, and we're going to say that this class of objects, Listener, implements mouse listener, and there's another interface, mouse motion listener. Mouse motion listener. Well, actually, let's just implement mouse listener at this time. So if we hover the mouse, we have to import it, and Eclipse will help us do that. And then with any interface, as you've learned in the past, you must add the unimplemented methods. And so here are all the unimplemented methods. So we have a method to keep track of clicking events, which means very rapid depression and release of the button. We have a method to keep track of mouse pressed events, which means just the mouse button was depressed but not released, or that's the only action we want to pay attention to within there. And we have one for released, one that entered and exited. Enter and exit mean did it pass over the active window or not. Okay, so we are going to add a field to our PaintPanel class, private listener, the listener, because we need to make an object of this class. So that's what we've just done. And now under PaintPanel we're going to say this dot add mouse listener, the listener. And so this is a reference to this initialization, whatever this object is, whichever object is being created from this factory. It adds a mouse listener as it gets to the end of the assembly line, or at the beginning of the assembly line. It adds a mouse listener to our class, which means it just places this listener on top of the panel that we are putting on our window, so that now the panel can pay attention to mouse clicks. We're also going to add private int x and a private int y at this point, and this is just going to be for demonstration purposes so that we can make our oval move around. So we're going to say anytime the mouse is pressed, this what happens is the listener gets a mouse event from another part of Java. Another part of Java hands it the mouse event, and it calls that event E, so we can ask that event questions, and we can say x equals E dot get x, so that's the x position of the mouse, and y equals E dot get y. So now we have stored the mouse's clicks in x and y, but we still need to do a couple things. We need to repaint our panel, and we need to set these positions not to 10 and 10, but to x and y. So initially it's going to be 0, 0, x and y. And that is it, actually. If we run this program, I believe that we will be able to click and watch our circle move around. Nope, not quite yet. Alright, so what am I forgetting? We need to this.add mouse. Oh, we didn't initialize the listener. The listener equals new listener. And if we run it, now we are able to click and the ball's position changes on the screen. And that's enough for this video.